Hi, Taurus. This is your homework family reading for July 16th through the 31st. Gotta hit the bell. You know the drill. I gotta make sure all the good energy's in. Something's off. I don't know how to explain it, but that's one reason why everybody calls me bells. There's something to do with the bell, and I can tell when we're in the right energy, so to speak, before I try to do the reading. So, sorry, but that's what has to happen. All right, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. This is your homework family reading for July 16th through the 31st. Dude, I was just at the pool, having myself just a good old time, and Spirit's like, get your butt home, and you need to do Taurus's reading. And they're really being persistent about it. You're going to be dealing with, obviously, you've got Mercury in retrograde, with communication, self-esteem, and truth. I am being told that you're going to be acknowledging situations. It's heart chakra and throat chakra in a form working together and becoming one. It's about putting heart into what you speak. And some of that is definitely coming from grief, sorrow, regret, or being afraid or feeling powerless about what the decision is, not knowing the direction in one sense. You need to be listening to your intuition, because your intuition is trying to tell you or give you cues, so to speak, of what you need, what actions you need to be making in the physical or mental, not mental, physical or material world. They're trying to help you, your intuition or your guides in their own way are speaking to your intuition and trying to help you direct the new decisions and help you redirect in the physical and material world, but you'll be noticing it through your intuition. I do feel very revved up, like you're very much ready to go and try to do something new. You're very revved up about something. That doesn't mean anything bad, but I mean, that could just mean that you're very involved in what you're involved in. There's nothing wrong with that. But like I said, you are definitely being warned or told or asked, however you want to see it, to put heart in what you speak. Because they're definitely they're giving me the heart chakra, but what they give me it is more or less, it's like they pick it up, they put it in the throat. So it's your self-expression of truth and that proper communication. And you are dealing with, issues in some cases, at least for who I'm channeling. Some of you is grief, sorrow, regret, but some of it is afraid to make a decision or afraid of what the consequences might be according to the decisions you may make. They're pointing out, stick with your creativity. Your creativity is going to steer you in the right direction, and this is definitely a time of growth for you. But it's definitely about expressing yourself very much. Now, with that being said, what most of you may not realize, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit dying of thirst. Like I said, I just came in from the heat, and I was like, okay, let me get out of the bathing suit, all right? Let me make the video. So I'm thirsty. But a lot of you, as Tauruses, I don't want to say assume, you are ruled by Venus, which means you're very sensitive. And when I say Venus is not a love. She has the ability to create love. But she is your sensitivity. She's your emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical sensitivity. Speaking to the things you like, your taste, how things feel. I mean, literally feel, like your happy fuzzy blankets and stuff. Why you feel the way you do with them. How those senses make you feel about things within that emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical. And with that, it also speaks to you of how you communicate, so you know how to charm the situation, because you're a Taurus. But I'm being given the bull over and over again, and I don't know what it is, but for some of you, apparently, I know everything has to do with vibrational frequency, but for some of you, there's definitely dealing with music and like megahertz and different tones is definitely, I don't know, I feel like I'm being told this, it's like validation for somebody. Something about you, what's going on right now, is definitely going to be dealing with sound. And there might be communication too. And they're saying it, for some of you, that sound and that frequency and the tones of the vibrational frequency and understanding that, coming to another level with dealing with it or understanding with it, is going to have to do with your awareness and your spirituality. Sorry, like I said, dying of thirst. Once they get going, you tend to get a little bit dry mouth. Sometimes. But what most people don't tell you as Taurus is, yes, you're ruled by Venus, but what they don't say is you're also ruled by Ceres. Not Sirius, not the Sirius star, Ceres. And when I get into the astrology, I say all the time, it doesn't matter if it's a comet, if it's a dwarf planet, if it's an asteroid. When I speak, the way I speak the astrology is, unless it's the sun or the moon, they're all planets. So Ceres is a planet that is also one of your rulers. And when we get to understand how Venus is a ruler for you, and you understand how Ceres is a ruler, it may help you understand a little bit more how you are and why you feel about the things you do. And the reason it's important right now for me to tell you this is because on the day of the lunar eclipse, that full moon, which is the 16th of July, Ceres has been in retrograde. She goes direct on that day. So she's in Sagittarius and she's starting to move closer to Jupiter. Now, depending on where you are in your Ceres energy, will definitely drive that Venus energy. Okay, and I'm being told to tell you that because I was directed straight to Ceres. And I think some of that also has to do with, that vibrational frequency and the tones shifting for your spiritual awareness. In some way, is what I'm being told. But Ceres is mothering. Ceres is hardworking. She's parenting, and she is like a guardianship, a guidance of a guardianship kind of energy. She is considered the threefold theory as well, and she is considered too close to home. She speaks to us of how well we are getting on with the flow of the universal energy. This may have something to do with why I keep being given, the frequencies and the tones and bringing that into your spiritual energy. Because it's going to be speaking with your sensitivity about where you take the rest of this month now that she's coming direct, Ceres. Okay, she's the threefold theory. She is the universal flow of energy is what she's considered to be. She is nurturing, she's parenting, she's hardworking. She also deals with gardening, so she's the Mother Earth itself. But if you're not in her energy in a positive way, it would go against anything that is nurturing. Then magnifying Venus on a negative side. Okay, so she speaks to you about fertility and the growth of that energy. Like I said, the threefold theory and incoming karma. So this is also about what are you manifesting and how are you manifesting it with that vibrational frequency of what you're sending out. Yeah, that's exactly what this is coming down to, is how you're manifesting and creating, and what are you bringing to you by what it is you're sending out. And they are stating the heart chakra needs to be in the throat for the creative expression, so that you're sending out what you want to actually send out. I'm sorry, like I said, they're very revving me up. But if it's in a negative way, you're viewing more of low self-esteem, low self-value. Where is it? No. You would be dealing more of low self-esteem, low self-worth, low self-value. You would be dealing with, obviously, more grief. You would be dealing with eating disorders. And with it being parenting, it would be like neglect. Whether it's neglect of the child Or were you neglected as a child? Or areas of neglect, and are you reviewing them? So this, like, child custody, lack of child support situations. Like I said, things where neglect is coming in and working in a direction away from nurturing. If you're in a negative energy with this Ceres energy, which will magnify that Venus energy. Because for you, it is in Sagittarius. Hold on, let me get back to my notes. I flipped my notes because it's just easier for me to have my notes in front of me. So whatever I feel I'm supposed to say, it jumps out at me and makes me make sure I'm not missing anything that might be important for any of you. Because I'm being told some of this energy obviously has to do with free will, and some of this energy and these decisions and this how you're manifesting and what you're bringing to you and all, it has to do with you being responsible for your actions, is what I'm being told. For Taurus, Ceres and Jupiter is... That's your universal 8th house. That's the relationship zone. And what are the roles and responsibilities? Like I was just saying, what are the roles and responsibilities within these relationships? What are the joint efforts, the joint finances, the joint resources? Are they joint? Are you acknowledging this? I mean, are you even down the middle? Are you being able to take the responsibilities and be the roles within these responsibilities of these relationships that are in your life, and are you able to start to transform them into something new, healthy, and healing as they move forward? But responsibilities of the relationships deal with all kinds of different things. I mean, if it's a spousal relationship, it can deal with sex, but it can also deal with bills. It can deal with being bankrupt. It can deal with money in general. It can deal with, like, if it's a job, part of the responsibility of doing the job within the relationship is the job being done. And are you showing up? Or are you being paid? Okay, what are the responsibilities within the relationships? And are they fairly balanced? If they're not fairly balanced, you need to be acknowledging it. Jupiter in this 8th house for you right now is definitely magnifying the situation, bringing higher knowledge and magnification to it. So it should definitely, if there's a red flag there, you should be seeing it. And it's up to you to be responsible enough to acknowledge it and make the changes, shifts, and so to speak, that are needed for you, is what I'm being told. I don't get that at all. Okay, hold on. Wrong book. Like I said, I have notes everywhere because I can't keep up with everything that they've taught me. I just don't have it all in my head yet. You may be dealing with issues of coming to understanding a deeper reason of your being within your very spiritual path. You may be going through some trust issues with your own intuitive and psychic abilities, hiding from the world how you truly feel, maybe issues you're dealing with, feminine energy in general, and where you're not expressing that creativity is making you feel weighed down. And they're saying the best way for you to follow through is to actually follow through. What you believe you're being told, what you feel like you're being told, trust in it, stop doubting it, and go with it. Because like I said, sometimes it has to do with the way it comes in, and I'm all over the place. So I just keep my notes with me so that I can make sure I get out everything the best that I think I'm supposed to. Alright, now if I hit astrology on the 16th, like I said, Ceres goes direct. And that is one of the most important things for you, Taurus. But we also have the lunar eclipse, which is taking place in Capricorn, which is also full moon. So this is all about release, surrender, and let go. But this is talking about freaking 30 some years of shit you might have been holding on to. It's also keeps giving me 12 and they keep giving me 7. So those are different time frames of stuff that might be resonating with you or returning, and things you need to acknowledge that either you need to let go of, or something is similar to something that happened in that time frame and is helping you to realize where maybe it wasn't done right then, and don't make the same mistake now. Okay? And then release, surrender, and let it go so that you can move forward. Now, for you, this is taking place in your 9th house. So this is coming into a whole new spiritual awareness for you anyway. Yeah, it's your universal 9th house. This is where your ethics are, your morals are, your spiritual urges, your dreams, your visions, your psychic energy. But this is also where you deal with religion, law, your higher education, your learning, and your philosophy. So this is, and with you having Capricorn, with you having it as a Capricorn, this is taking you to a new foundation within your soulfulness, within your vibrational frequency. That explains why the tones keep coming up. This is coming into a new level of speaking into the authority of who and what you are and your own authenticity. But you can only do that by getting a little bit deeper and right with self. With the South Node here, there's things that are showing you within those morals, those ethics, those spiritual urges, those higher education. They're showing you things that you're not wanting to shift, you're not wanting to change, you're not wanting to believe in. And they're trying to show you the things you need to. Because it's something that you've gotten good at doing it in a certain way. Let me use it this way. I say a lot of times there's preachers out there, pastors out there, priests out there. And they may be very, very good at what they do. But are they really understanding the message? Are they just reading the book? And they follow only what the book says, but they're not reading between the lines to hear any of the message. This is part of what I'm talking about. Are you reading between the lines of your own self, of your own truth? Getting in deeper and I don't know, but they're like, just be rude about it. Get in there. I mean, but I feel like it's not being rude outwardly. It's get deep within self is what I feel like. Just go for it. You also have Saturn here, and you have Pluto here. So this is death, decay, and destruction for renewal, rebirth, and regeneration. You may be feeling in a way, like when I started my spiritual path, I feel like Spirit ripped me apart and then put me back together. Like they took me apart and redesigned me a little bit, tweaked me in certain little pieces and places, and then put me back together so it improved me. Now, you may be feeling somewhat of that energy. Because with Pluto being here, it's death, decay, and destruction for renewal, rebirth, regeneration. This is how you're going to find your authentic self. And Saturn being here is speaking to you of what are the limitations and the withholdings. Where do you trust yourself? Where you don't? Where do you trust spirit? Where don't you? Where do you understand and not understand your spiritual path? And how does that redirect your ethics, your morals, your higher education, and your truths? And it's definitely trying to redirect you in a form, rebuilding you. Now, for you in general, this is also in opposition with that universal 3rd house, which is the communication center. Okay, it's also your siblings and your neighbors, your short journeys, your short journeys, your short messages, short transportation, but it's also intellect and trivia. But it also deals with those small, important, that may seem mundane conversations, like your text messages, the phone calls, your emails, your visit with the neighbor, that kind of information. There's something about this communication that's trying to put you in a new, healthy way. And you need to understand what didn't work, what you've gotten used to that's not working for you anymore, versus the new communication you need to be shifting into within those siblings, your neighbors, those close journeys. But it's communication in general. So I feel like it's going in all directions, and Spirit keeps saying to take the heart chakra and put it in the freaking throat, and to trust in your intuition. Alright, with that being said, Mercury moves out of Leo and it goes back into Cancer on the 19th. It's still in retrograde, but it's leaving Leo and is going back into Cancer. For you, this is your 4th house and then going back into your 3rd house. There we go again. This is more internal communication and then communication again. So I feel like I'm also being told, you need to learn how. It's the same thing. It's just I'm coming into it in a different way. You need to learn how to put your heart into your throat. But what it's about is where you're having problems with listening to the heart chakra, forgiving the heart chakra, or the situations that's been blocking you. And how do you communicate it outwardly? As well as to yourself. Because with it being in that 4th house with Leo right now, Mercury, which is communication, is speaking to you about your inner emotional security. It's speaking to you of the roots of who and what you are, how you got this way, even from past lives. This is speaking to you of the true self that is within you. This is also karmic lessons, and this is where reincarnation is created. So it's also speaking to you of your inner child, of getting into the inner child and understanding, like I said, the roots of how you create your inner emotional security. Mercury has been being trampled by Mars as soon as Mars moved in here. Mars was just like, let me talk to you about fire, passion, action, aggression, my inner warrior and my inner sexuality, and what do I need in this universal 4th house to have that inner emotional security. And then it's going to slip back into communication again after the 19th. So you're definitely going to be feeling those energies. In that universal 4th house, though, you have Sun and you have Venus moving into that 4th house on the 22nd for the Sun and on the 27th for Venus. Will be moving into the home zone. Mercury will go direct on the 31st, where you will have another new moon in Cancer, which is your communication. So this is all about getting right with yourself, getting right with your inner emotional security, and how you are self-expressing yourself and trusting in the intuition that is being given to you by your guides to help you express yourself properly in your communication so that you can actually get where you want to go. I don't think that you were the one that's calling me, so I'm shifting you for a minute. Yeah, because it was this one. You were just sitting in it a little too much. Alright, Taurus. What does Taurus need to know? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. For the second part of July. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, second part of July. I told you, very revved up. I feel like, you could feel very good about yourself, but I also feel like in some cases, some of you won't allow yourself to. Some of you are still doubting that you're capable of it or that you're worth it. Maybe you're always worth it. The only time you're not worth it is when you don't believe you're worth it. That might be part of the thing. It's about learning you're worth it. Alright, Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. And I couldn't even say that right. It was like, just pull the card, shell. Paralyzed is what I was getting. Victory over your past. Reflection. This is also confidence in self. What was we just talking about? This is 6 of Wands, and it is called victory. This is finding your way back to you so that you can find out what you truly desire. Was this it? No, it was this one, right? You're being given victory with opposition. Stop fighting your stuff. Stop thinking that you're not worth it. This is really what it comes down to. You're blocking your own free will to believe that you have victory, that you are capable of it. You're over-questioning yourself. You're communicating in some negative aspects, and you're allowing that self-talk to talk bad to you in some of these cases. Lost faith in self or the situation. Don't waste any more time thinking bad about yourself, because you're keeping yourself from the victory. If this, like I said, I feel like it has to do with tones and megahertz and vibrational frequencies itself. If you are in a negative spot and you stay in that negative spot and you're talking bad to yourself, you're not going to be able to bring to you what you want, because your vibrational frequency won't allow it to turn positive. I mean, I need you to understand that is really, and that was not me who said that. That was Spirit who said that. I need you to understand that, because that is what's going to keep your manifestation from being what you want. If you're sending out the wrong vibrational frequency, you can't bring in what you desire. You have to rise yourself to that. So it's time to believe in yourself. Get deep and honest with what you are. Realize that you're better than what you think you are. You're truthfully capable, able, deserving, and ready to be who is there. The star, you have the wish card in a form. And I call it the wish card because this is the righteous one. You have the opportunity to create and change everything. This is in Hebrew what is called the hook, like the hook, line, sink. When you throw your if you go fishing and you throw the line out, you're not trying to hook the smallest damn fish. You want the big fish. Oh, and if this is crooked, I'm trying to do this a different way, make my video, and I've been having trouble with my phone. So I'm hoping that you're not getting the video this way. But I'm trying to hope that I got it right and it's going the right direction and it's the wide way for you. If not, I'm sorry. And I'll switch it back for the next time. But you want to go after the proper hook, line, and sink. Go after what you really want. Don't get sidetracked with the things that you don't want, because you're being given the lovers. So this can be a relationship. We are dealing with relationships and their responsibilities. This can be a new relationship blooming and coming to peace within it. It's capable for it to happen. You have the star card with the lovers. You're capable of doing this, but this may also be saying you first need to see the star as you. Love yourself so that you can get it, because they are giving me also the Princess of Swords. The Princess of, they just went all full circle on you, more or less. The Princess of Swords is fixed and volatile. She can be. She's very emotionally alert. She also deals with controversy. She is fighting herself both inwardly and outwardly, trying to make the right decisions. She's all about that intellectual thinking. It's time to ground your thinking, ground yourself, and stop trying to cleverly think your way through it. Let the heart tell you what's right. Help the heart connect with the head, and then express yourself. Is there anything else here? Thank you for telling me my card was upside down. Oh. Okay, I'm holding them upside down. Thank you. Is there anything else here that Taurus needs? Yes? Because otherwise, you're going to find all the happiness that you're creating will be short-lived. This is the 10 of Cups. It is looking too much for the material world to make you happy, when the material world isn't what's going to satisfy you in the long run. Being satisfied in the long run is what's going to satisfy you. So go for broke, more or less. Be all in. All in with the heart of what you want and what you desire. And if it's not in that vibrational frequency, drop that shit. Is basically what I'm getting. Nope, nothing else here. Or at least after I said what I said, they just dropped everything from there. Anything else for Taurus? Anything? I feel like you're just going to double validate something, but okay. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. You're upside down. You were upside down. Two of Cups is basically the same thing. You either have a new relationship coming in, you could be finding a brand new love, or this is about finding a true love with yourself. Is there anything else Taurus needs to know? Oh, where did you go? The King of Pentacles. This is being confident and serene within your own person. Within the, being practical and being patient. This is Fire and Earth Father. So, this is a pinnacle, though. This is, take the time to build it right. Take the time to build it right, and it won't let you down. So that you will be reaping the rewards that you are after. They're validating it, but they're taking it a little bit further. This is Venus being in Aries. So this is bringing a sensitivity to a new beginning, to a brand new harvest, to crossing from past and into future, satisfying the higher point of what you're after. Take your time, build it right. If it doesn't resonate with you, drop that shit and leave it behind. No questions asked. Follow your heart. Put your heart chakra in your throat is basically what the Spirit is saying. Is there anything? I think it's this one. It's one of these two. Yes, no. A few. Well, that was just uncalled for. Hold on. I dropped them. I dropped them. Oh, my head's not all in your video. If it is, man, I'm sorry, but I'm picking them up. I dropped them. Well, I got the one they want anyway. Express your love through your deeds. Express your love through your deeds. Is there anything else here? Develop flexibility and aim to be in harmony with all the endeavors in your life. And make gentleness a habit. Is there one last thing coming out of this deck for Taurus? One last thing to leave Taurus with. One last thing to leave Taurus with. Thank you. Wrong one. This one. I reignite my divine spark within me and recognize I am part of all of creation. Again, they're helping you manifest. They're helping you to understand how to manifest what you desire and to not accidentally manifest incorrectly. I think that is very good energy. You just got to make sure that that grief, the sorrow, the regrets, the things that have been keeping you down, you put to bed. I love you. Bye, guys.